Welcome back to the JCPod, partner with Stare Down Sports. Stare Down greatness. And man, do we got a good one today. We are back for another week of Pickem. We have only 3 weeks left, including this week, which is insane to think about, because, we might not be getting first. But we also have NFL Week 16 bets to go over, and then I will talk some of the games and bets that I'm looking for in the college football playoffs for round 1. So I think we should just head on over to that Pickem board. Let's just get this over with, man. The damn Cowboys. The Cowboys win, we skyrocket up the group a little bit and would have had a little bit better of a week. But, of course, they sadly did not for us. We just lose another big number. That's just been the killer this year. We've lost a lot of big numbers and just not just great picks. Like, this one, I'll admit, it is what it is. Like, this is one where I can't be too mad at it, but way too much in the earlier year. We were just missing 16, missing 14, putting on done games. So, hopefully going into next year, we're going to fix that. Because, as you can see, we're in 4th place. We're 14 points on making podium, which is still doable. And we're 39 out of 2nd, which I don't think it's going to be that much doable at this point. The only way that we get it to go is like a wild week 18 where we get every game right. But yeah, not been the best of seasons. We're still trying to get, well, it's just number-wise. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off the most, because the pick record-wise, I have the best pick record by 2 games, and then against the leader, it's 4. Second place, it's 3. But like I said, those numbers have just killed me all year, so that's why we're where we're at. I'm not mad with the picking record at all. I'm just mad at the number placement. Like, that's just been the frustrating part about this year. Is just haven't got a little lucky with them numbers, man. So hopefully we're gonna lock in and be able to fix that. So going into the first one, Rams against Seattle. I have to take the Rams with just how well they've been playing. No Devontae Adams is going to be a bit of a struggle, but Colby Parkinson has been taking over in the red zone touchdown department, so if he can keep that up, they might just be fine. Puka Nacua sounds like he will be playing, so I think I'm going to be good with that. Offensively, Seattle just comes out the slow of offensive starts. That if they do it again, this will really bite them in the ass. Maybe they'll be up for this game and they'll come out to a blazing hot start, but with how slow they've been starting and the struggles a little bit on offense, I think I'm going to rely on the Rams. I mean, Seattle's pretty much, their run game's basically all but gone at this point. Like, it's kind of there, but not really. And when it comes to the passing game, I mean, it's JSN. Rashichi's starting to step up a little bit and get a little bit more targets and looks. I mean, it's basically JSN and then a bunch of not JSNs. And JSN, there's a reason he's about to set the receiving record, is because Sam Darnold's pretty much hyper-targeting him. But overall, I just think the Rams are the better team, especially defensively. And then it comes down to me, finally, who you're going to... I like Mike McDonald, so I eventually fully comes down to, do you trust Matt Stafford? Do you trust Sam Darnold? I'm just going to ride with Matt Stafford. And the defense has been good enough for the Rams that might be able to take it. Definitely going to be one of my lower points of the week, but do think it's a possibility. Philadelphia, Washington, I'm just going to take Philadelphia. Maybe they found something against the Raiders that they can keep rolling. But with no Jaden Daniels, it just feels like it might be a little bit too much for Marcus Mariota. And we do have some to go along. I think, are the Eagles one of the teams that have a clinching scenario this weekend? Yeah, the Eagles, if they win and in, they clinch a playoff berth if they beat Washington. So a little bit of extra motivation to win this game here. And it is going to be a division game. Might be tough, so that could be a little bit nerve-wracking there. Green Bay, Chicago, I'm actually going to go Green Bay here. Shocker, right? I basically picked against the Bears all years, now that I think about it, but I do think that I genuinely won't be shocked if the Bears win this game. I do think that losing Christian Watson is going to be tough. Losing Micah Parsons is definitely going to be tough. I think the Bears are 1 year away. But I genuinely won't be shocked if they do win this game. I just think that I'm going to go with the Packers here and just trust in them a little bit more. The only thing is they had that game 1 against the Broncos last week and then gave up the 10-point run. Jordan Love had some kind of man moments, but I don't know. Obviously losing Micah Parsons is going to be huge, and I'm definitely nervous about that, but I just think Green Bay can win that game. But it's going to be a one-point game for a reason. I won't be shocked if they don't. Buffalo, Cleveland. A little bit nervous about Cleveland. They've been playing kind of bad lately, but it feels like their defense has one massive... or yes, like one great game performance. I was going to say massive game, but one great game performance in them left. I just don't know when it's going to be. It feels like there's one left in these last 3 weeks, but I don't know when it's going to come. Makes me a bit nervous about Buffalo here, but they're fighting for their divisional lives at this point. The fact that they beat the Patriots division's not necessarily over. I don't know the exact scenarios they need to win it. I need to double check and start looking at that stuff a little bit. But I do know that if they win out, they have a good chance of winning the division. So, and also, New England plays Baltimore this week. So, tough game for them. For Buffalo, this is a must-win. But they are traveling to Cleveland. The defense is returning home. I can't remember if they were actually home last week or not. I won't lie to you. But I don't know. They were in Chicago. So, yeah, they're returning home. I think defense will play a little bit better. But it's just hard not to say Buffalo with how well Josh Allen is playing. Dallas Chargers. I guess I am just going to take the Chargers. Dallas really has nothing to play for. Chargers, they need to win these games to keep their playoff hopes alive. They've just been finding ways to win. They beat the Chiefs last week, so speaking of, a little bit more nervous about that, but I still think the Chiefs get it done. But Chargers, they need this win desperately. The Dallas, they're pretty much done. Their playoff hopes are over at this point. They're just playing spoiler and building into next year, so I think the Chargers are going to be able to get a win there. Ooh, these are going to be some decent games. Chiefs, Tennessee. I think the Chiefs are still going to win, even with Gardner Minshew. Feels like that they're still like they might be struggling, but they still I think are a little bit better than Tennessee. Cincinnati, Miami. You want to talk about the poop bowl? Yeah. Tua did get benched, so it's going to be. I think I have to take Cincinnati. It's going to be. Maybe I'll make this my 1 point game actually, and we'll make this the 2. And then we'll just bump all this up 1. I wouldn't be shocked if Miami wins it if they can get back to running the ball. Quinn Ewers is going to be starting, so it's going to be interesting what the. There's going to be interesting if they see if there's going to be a spark in play because they have a quarterback. You know what? We're not in first. We're not defending anything. Why not? We'll take Miami. I think there is a chance they could win that game. Curious to see how Quinn Ewers is going to look. Thankfully, the Cincinnati defense is just bad enough that unless the Bengals put up a lot of points, there is a chance they could lose this game. And I don't know where Joe Burrow's head's at. It seems like genuinely there's a lot going on in his life right now, and can't really blame him with everything that's been going on as well. But yeah, it just feels like there's weird vibes with both these teams. So it's in Miami. We'll just go with the home team here. Maybe Quinn Ewers will win in his first start. New Orleans, New York Jets. I'm actually going to take New Orleans here. Tyler Shuck has been playing pretty well, but this would be the most New Orleans things ever as people start to back them. They've been looking good, and then they just absolutely pooped the bed, but they might be turning over a new leaf, and I actually am starting to like Shuck a bit. So we're going to take New Orleans over the Jets. Minnesota, the Giants. I think J.J. McCarthy has been playing well the last couple of weeks. Another defense where there's an opportunity for him to play well. Let's see if he does it on the road. As for the Giants, they are fighting for the number 1 overall pick. So obviously the players on the field are going to go out and play, but it's curious to see what the motivations are for the Giants to win games going forward. Tampa Bay, Carolina. We are going to take Tampa Bay. That's going to be a 4 for right now. Tampa Bay, Carolina. I do think Tampa Bay can win this game, but Carolina has been frisky, has been playing really, really well lately, so won't be totally shocked if they ever pull it out. But offensively, Tampa Bay has all their weapons back. Todd Bowles was. They lost that. They have to have a sour taste in their mouth. That's the last 2 losses they had. It's now. This is like basically a do or die game for the Bucs. If they lose this game, you feel like they've completely lost hold of the wheel and all hell's about to break loose. But maybe if they can get a win here, they can right the ship a little bit and get back steady into what they're trying to do. Denver, Jacksonville. I have to take Denver at home with that defense. Going to be a really great game, though. This is Trevor Lawrence coming off a couple great games. This is the game, Trevor. Let's see it. Curious to see if what performance he puts on. Atlanta, Arizona. We're actually going to take Arizona there. Atlanta's been playing kind of. They're coming off a tough win. Kirk Cousins played decently well. Both those teams are really, really poopy. But we're just going to take the home team in Arizona. I just think that potentially with how bad the Atlanta defense is on the road, maybe Jacoby Brissett's going to be able to put up enough for them to win. If it becomes a shootout, I think I'd trust in Jacoby Brissett a bit more than Kirk Cousins. But Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier might run all over Arizona, so that's my only fear there. But like I said, I think we're to the point in the season. Why not try with a few underdogs, have a little bit of fun? Detroit, Pittsburgh. It just feels like there's so much more motivation here for Detroit over Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh just has to win one of their next 2 games. If Baltimore loses any of their games, and they're in the playoffs automatically, and they don't even need that last game. So there's a bit of motivation there. But as for Detroit, they are really they're out of the playoffs looking in now, and they really need to win. Jahmyr Gibbs is hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Hot streak game this week, so potentially look for him to have 2 or 3 touchdowns. Houston, Vegas. Okay, yep, let's get this over with. All right, over under 75 yards this week. Will Vegas get? They were held to 75 last week. Will they get more than that this week? Baltimore, New England. I'm actually going to take New England. Kind of shocked that Baltimore is flavored with how mad they've been playing. Maybe New England has a sour taste in their mouth after blowing a 21-0 lead last week, and we're going to do it, man. You know what? We're going to go down with the ship since Pickem's kind of chalked. No, I'm just kidding. I do think there is a chance the Colts win this game. But, so we're going to bump up everything. Damn it, didn't mean to do that. We're going to bump up everything one number. I'm just picking them as a fan. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is a, hey, Philip, if they're going to get any wins based on their schedule, it's going to be either this week or against Jacksonville, if I had to guess. So, I'm going to take the gamble. Colts win the game this week. It's going to be Philip Rivers' first time playing in a full crowd. I think there's a chance Lucas Oil is going to be electric for this game because Colts are just on the outside looking in. They play the Texans. So in a weird world where they win this game, Texans lose either. I mean, Colts could win this game. They beat the Texans next week, and then Texans lose again. I don't know who has the tiebreaker in that case, but that's something else I have to look in. But there is a world where Colts beat Houston. They could run the table. Will they with Philip Rivers? I really don't know. That defense for San Francisco has been playing really well. Offensively, they've been just a machine lately. And I will say, remember, we talked about it at the beginning of the year. San Francisco's schedule, not the hardest. Now, the Colts, they are in a rough patch. They are playing a 44-year-old Philip Rivers. But I just, you know what? If, like I said, the Colts have basically 2 realistic chances, I think, to win one game. The rest of the season, it's either going to be this week or it's going to be against Jacksonville. I just think that this is potentially the week where they can maybe get done. Who's going to score the most points this week? Who plays the Raiders again? Texans. Well, that's easy. Who's going to score the least points? Let's go Raiders, who had 75 yards last week. And we're probably, like I said, we're probably picking the Raiders the rest of the season. It's kind of sad, man. Like, they got a lot of fixing. That's another team that has a lot of fixing to do. And then Cincinnati, Miami, we'll just go 24-26. We'll go a little weird. Go a little shooty out. Alright, let's start assigning some numbers. I do think Philadelphia, on the road, a bit nervous about it, but I do think they can handle business there. Buffalo and Cleveland, that's another one similar on the road. I think they might be able to handle business there. Boy. I'm not going to like a lot of big numbers this week, I can already tell. Detroit will put a 13 on them just because they need it back. I don't know. I don't know where else to put some of these big numbers. I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to be a rough week for big numbers. I think I might have to bump up. Josh Allen's been playing so well. It is, like I said, Cleveland's probably going to have a... Seattle Seahawks are a team that's winning in. Philadelphia, the Patriots are, and San Francisco are all teams. If they win, they're in the playoffs. So those are all teams I should consider also putting big numbers on, but dude, I just don't know. This is going to be a horrible week for numbers. I like how I just preached at the beginning of the show. It needs to be better with numbers. We need to lock in, and then, yeah, I just don't have a lot of confidence in some of these numbers. We'll go 12 for New Orleans there. Maybe a tough road start for them. Denver against Jacksonville, we'll go 13 there. We'll make... Guess we'll go 14 on New. That's crazy, man. On a rookie quarterback, but Chuck's been playing well lately. Minnesota's defense, I do think they're going to be decent. We'll put a Man, Buffalo, I guess we'll put a... I'm just going to put a 15 on them. We're just going to trust in Josh Allen. We'll see. I won't be... I mean, it is a Cleveland defense at home, but maybe, like I said, they're going to have one good week left in them. We're going to take a dice roll. Maybe it's not this... Oh, wait, we're done. I forgot about that game, so... Oop. 10, we'll put a 11 there. And we can make that a 9. There we go. I totally forgot about Chiefs, Tennessee. We're just going to put full blind faith in the Chiefs to win this game. If they lose to Tennessee, then I deserve to lose this number. Like, they should have no... Even with Gardner Minshew starting, they have no business losing Tennessee. They have a lot more stuff in place than Tennessee does. All right, so I have a 5, 6, and 8 left. I'll put a 5 here. Put a 4 there. We'll put a 6 on the Rams, and we'll put, I guess, an 8 on the Chargers. We'll leave it like that. I'm not even going to second guess. We're just going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not the most confident in that. This is one of those weeks where this is definitely a week where we are going to either be geniuses and we're going to be decently high up on the board. I think we could be top 2, top 3, or we might be at the bottom because we definitely have some underdogs picked. As you can see, according to this thing, I think I have the most I've ever picked, 4 to 6 of them. But overall, I'm okay with the numbers. Not the happiest, not the most frustrated. It is what it is. There's some bigger numbers I wish could be lower, but hey, maybe this is a week where we just have a perfect week and shoot up the board. Or you know what? Let's not even think in the negative. Let's just head over back to the gridiron. Let's go over the bets to finish off this NFL portion. If we're being realistic, though, I'm probably going to be about middle of the pack or bottom. But based on how this year's gone, but hey, we never know. There's just some of those games, pick-em-wise, like I said, it feels weird. NFL's been weird this year. Maybe it's one of them weeks. Maybe it's not. We are taking Rams on the money line, though. That's something I like. We're probably going to take Puka anytime touchdown. We're going to take Colby Parkinson anytime touchdown. And then I think I want to take Puka's receiving over. I want to see what that is again. 91.5. Probably going to jump on that. I think I'm going to take Shaheed's over at 35.5. He has been getting used a bit more. I am a bit nervous about this, I will say, but like I said, he has been getting used a bit more, so we're going to trust in that. I don't want to touch anything running back-wise for the Seahawks. For the Rams, Matt Stafford over half rushing yard. I think we're going to take that. This one, I won't lie to you. I need to see back to some other games, but this might be one I don't really recommend taking, but I'm personally going to take because the chance of him just falling forward for a yard and everything. Last week, he rushed for 2 yards, and then October 19th, he rushed for a yard, and then he didn't hit this over until last week against Detroit where he rushed for 2 yards. It's just one of those things where will he rush for it? Maybe, maybe not. It is a divisional game, so he's more likely to, especially because winner of this game is probably getting the 1 seed, so we'll take that, and then I'll probably take Kyron or Blake Corum. Not for sure which one I want to take just yet, but I'm looking at one of those 2 guys as well. Rushing wise, but that would be all I'm interested in this game. A lot of Ram stuff, and then one little Shaheed thing, just because I don't trust in that Seahawks offense fully, and they've just been really weird and coming out to such slow starts. It's I don't want to put too much money on them and then end up being behind the 8 ball with how slow they're starting. I'd rather just wait till live bet it and maybe get a better read there. Eagles 6.5 point favorites with the Commanders. Kind of interested in taking the 6.5. But I stayed away from that. We have 2 Saturday games, by the way. A Thursday game, 2 Saturday games, and then a bunch of Sunday games, 1 Monday nighter. But not going to lie to you. Haven't fully deep dived that game yet. I'll have an article out for it, though, for that and the Packers-Bears game, where I'm probably going to take Packers money line. This is one where it's we're going to try to make our money back a little bit from last week. Maybe the Packers can handle the Bears, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears win that game. So this is one where I might end up falling away from it just because I am a little bit nervous. I have no props in either of these games just yet. I haven't done the full deep dive just because they were Saturday games, so I figured we're going to end up doing it on an article when it comes to props. I just know I like some Jaden Reed stuff potentially. Eagles-wise, I couldn't tell you who I'm going to end up taking prop-wise for them. I might end up just staying away from that game totally prop-wise and just focus on Bears-Packers, but I do know I was looking at Jaden Reed, probably going to take some stuff with that. We're going to see if Josh Jacobs ends up playing, and then maybe take something DeAndre Swift-wise. Those are kind of the 3 things I was leaning about. Chargers, we're going to take them on the money line. I just think that with how they've been playing the last couple of weeks, maybe they could steal this one in Dallas. It's just going to come down to how productive can their offense be with how beat up the offensive line is. But you're able to throw all over the Cowboys, so this is going to be a fun game to check on some overs for some of the receivers. They still don't have anything out, however, so you're going to have to check out StayDownSports.com, where when I have my Sunday article out, I will probably for sure have a Chargers receiver in there somewhere just because Dallas Cowboys gives up hella receiving yards. Might even do a Marion Hampton, maybe. Just maybe. Vikings, Giants. Vikings are minus 2.5-point favorites. I am tempted if the Vikings money line just dropped. Might take the Giants or might take the Vikings on the money line, but yeah, I'm probably just gonna end up staying away from this game, and I don't want to take really any props just because JJ McCarthy's a bit volatile. Maybe take some Josh Naylor stuff once that comes out and I'm able to see. Because yeah, they don't have any receiving props out just yet for that. So once they do, I might take some Naylor stuff because JJ McCarthy really seems like Naylor. But past that, yeah, maybe look at Tyrone Tracy or Devin Singletary, one of those two score a touchdown. But past the Giants, I really don't have any interest. Or past those two scoring, I don't have any really interest in any other Giants. Bills, 10.5-point favorites over the Browns. With how bad the Browns offense played last week, if anything, I might take Quinshon Judkins rushing over is 58.5. I might take that because the Bills defense has been a bit shaky. Might take Shadur Sanders rush over as well. That actually might be one. It's at 8.5. That is one I might be interested in just because of how bad the Bills defense is in the rushing game this year. That is the one place where you can really, really get them. But like I said, we might also take Quinshon Judkins, but we'll see. That's one I want to do a little bit more handicapping on that game. Yeah, but I don't think I'm going to touch spread. I don't like the 10.5 number just because maybe, I don't know, it's a rookie quarterback in the Browns, though. I just don't trust that Bills defense fully to cover a number that big, so that's why I'm staying away. Saints, Jets. Saints are minus 4.5-point favorites. If anything, they don't have any props up yet for this game. I was thinking about probably taking some Audric Estime stuff. I'm going to keep watching reports to see what's up, but Evan Hull, Audric Estime, those are two running backs. I assume Audric Estime is going to be the one used in the red zone a little bit, but we truly have no idea for sure because we don't know who's starting yet, and it could be a committee thing anyway, so that's why I'm just going to stay away and wait a little bit. Bucks, they're minus 3 over the Panthers. I might take Baker's passing over at 228 yards, but that might be a game I just stay away from and watch stuff live. I kind of like Mike Evans to score. Might take Rico to score. Past those two guys, though, maybe take Bucky Irving to score. But past that, I have no idea, man. No idea. I could see either team winning that game, especially with how shaky the Bucks have been lately. The way they lost that last game, though, you would think they have a real. I mean, the Panthers lost a tough way too last week, but you would think the Bucks have a really sour taste in their mouth from losing to the Saints and then losing the way they did to the Falcons. So that's why I kind of would lean them there, but not going to take anything. Bengals, they are minus 4.5-point favorites over the Dolphins. Because of the rookie quarterback, I don't want to touch anything. Really, I don't think on the Dolphins. If anything, maybe Darren Waller stuff, because rookies do love tight ends, and Darren Waller is the biggest target they have in Miami. So, tempting there. Probably might double back on that Greg Dulcich stuff, especially if we can get that low number again. He had 43 receiving yards in their last game, and they really like the tight ends. But it's Quinn Ewers in now, not Tua, so we'll have to see. Chiefs, 3-point favorites over the Titans. I don't like the vibes of what's going on with Travis Kelce totally, so curious to see what's going on if he's going to end up coming back next year. But this is a game I'm probably just going to stay away from. I've lost enough money on the Chiefs this year. Really don't know what to fully expect from Gardner Minshew. They are playing the Titans, though, so it's probably a good week for them to have a defense or decently offensive day. But if anything, maybe take Kareem Hunt to score a touchdown or Travis Kelce, one of those two. But that'd be the only two things I'd be looking into in that. Jags, Broncos, no idea prop-wise. So all the rest of the game, I haven't got to the props just yet, but minus 3, I think I'm good on this game. If I had to pick, I would pick Broncos, but I think I'm just going to stay away. I might take Cardinals money line. That is something that I am leaning towards. I couldn't tell you fully why, and I kind of hate myself for doing it, but if I had to pick someone in this game, I think I'd pick the Cardinals or the Falcons. I just think Jacoby Brissett might be able to outscore the Falcons, but could be totally wrong about that. Lions, 6.5-point favorites over the Steelers. We're just going to stay away from either side, but we are going to take Gibbs to score 2 touchdowns. And then we'll probably take him to score 3 personally. I don't know if I'm going to give it out, but he's been on a streak of like 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 last week, so now he's going to be back onto 3 according to that streak, but that's why I'm at least going to take him for 2. Texans, 14.5-point favorites. I'm probably going to stay away from most stuff from this, if anything, we're going to take an RB over because they're probably going to be at a certain point up a lot. Might take the Texans defense and maybe even score a touchdown, but if anything, it's going to be a Texans running back to have a decent rushing over, and then I'm staying away from everything else. 14.5 point spread. This game, they're probably going to blow them out. You know what? I might just take the Texans minus 14.5 straight up, honestly. It's really disrespectful, but that defense is so good that, I mean, shit. They got held to Raiders got held to 75 yards last week, and that was against the Eagles defense, who is worse statistically than the Texans defense this year. So, if you're just doing, and the Raiders were at home, I believe. Now they're on the road against the Texans. Yeah, no, thank you. Sunday Night Football, Patriots. I'm going to take them plus 2.5 over the Bengals. I do think they can probably keep this within a field goal. Won't be shocked totally if they even win it. But prop-wise, I don't know for sure. Might take Trevion Henderson's rush over, but I have no idea. I can't wait to start looking at that game a little bit more. That's going to be a really, really fun game. And then Monday Night Football, Colts 6.5 point favorites to the 49ers. Give me Colts plus 6.5. I do think this is another game where they cover again. I mean, if they play similar to how they played last week, where they're able to control the game, Philip Rivers is able to get them into the correct stuff. And it basically comes down to, can Jonathan Taylor carry him and do good things, which Jonathan Taylor is able to do that, and they're going to be at home, so the crowd's going to be on their side. I wouldn't be shocked if 49ers win this game, honestly, but I do think the Colts have a good chance to cover. But that's going to be in the article on SaturdaynSports.com for Monday. Can't wait to do that. And that's going to be Christmas week, man. So hopefully for going into Christmas, we can get a Colts win, man. It's been a minute. We need some good vibes for the Colts, man. So my official bets going into NFL Week 16. Rams money line. Puka Nacua and Colby Parkinson, anytime touchdowns. Rashid Shaheed over 35.5 receiving yards. Matt Stafford over 0.5 rush yards. And also Matt Stafford over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I like Packers money line. I like Chargers money line. We'll take Shadur Sanders over 8.5 rushing yards. Screw it. We'll take the Cardinals money line. Not my favorite bet I'm giving out, but it's the end of the year almost. Let's add it to the list. Jahmyr Gibbs 2-time touchdown. Personally, I'm going to take him 3 times touchdown. Once we figure out which running back's going to start for the Houston Texans, probably going to take one of their overs. Might even take the backups over because probably going to beat the Raiders by a lot. We're going to take Texans minus 14.5. We're going to take Pats plus 2.5. And we're going to end it off with Colts plus 6.5. And that will do it for NFL Week 16. So that takes us into the bowl games. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Before I get into the CFP, let's just talk the bowl games real quick. Up to Tuesday, if I'm going to take anything tonight, it's going to be South Florida maybe. But we did take Delaware plus, I took them, I think, plus 3 where I got them. They're starting to drop now, and they're starting to potentially be favorited. So I do like, I just like Delaware against Louisiana. Arkansas State, Missouri State, got nothing there. I like Kennesaw plus 3.5 over Western Michigan. Alabama, Oklahoma, I got nothing there. If I had to pick, I might take Alabama. But I'm just going to enjoy watching that game as a fan. That is going to just be an awesome electric atmosphere. NC State versus Memphis, I have nothing there for you. Saturday, if I had to pick, picking Texas A&M, I'm just going to wait till live to see what's going on. And I also have a Christmas to celebrate that day as well, so I won't be able to get full eyes on the game. Ole Miss, Tulane, going to stay away from that. Oregon, James Madison, staying away from that as well. I just think one of those games, one of the dog's going to cover in one of those games, it feels like. And I'm not confident in which one it is, so I'm just going to stay away. And because I think Oregon probably wins. Probably think Ole Miss wins as well. I don't think it's going to be an upset, but I do think one of the dogs might cover. So I'm going to stay away. If I had to pick, it might be potentially James Madison because of the injuries to Oregon. But if Oregon has their guys healthy, then that could get ugly. But if I had to pick a spread to pick, I'd probably pick Ole Miss because they beat Tulane 45-10 earlier in the year. Utah State, Washington State, we're going to take Utah State there minus 1.5. And then that takes us into Tuesday, which check out Tuesday's show, and I will have the bets. I guess the Boca Raton Bowl, I got nothing for you in that one. But the other 2 bowl games, I will have. I have nothing for Western Kentucky, Southern Miss, or UNLV, Ohio. Won't lie. Never mind. But yeah, so if I had to maybe take anything in South Florida, I would take South Florida minus 4.5 over Old Dominion. But staying away from that one, we are taking Delaware. I got them plus 3, but I think money line might be the only good thing left at this point. We're going to take Kennesaw State plus 3.5. And then Utah State minus 1.5. And that leads us into the college football playoffs where I kind of broke it, kind of teased it. If I had to pick, I would pick maybe Alabama, but their offense has been kind of shaky for so long that I don't know if I want to do that fully. And Oklahoma at home would be a fun story, but you want to talk about shaky offenses. Boy, that Oklahoma offense is scary sometimes. So I don't think I really have anything in that game. I kind of lean Texas A&M to win, but I don't think I like the -3.5. It's just trusting in Marcel Reed. A little bit nervous about that. He is a decent player, but there are some moments where he has some real sketch to him. Like I said, if I had to pick one spread so far to take, it'd probably be Ole Miss -17.5. Well, we'll see. I don't know if I want to pull the trigger on that. Jaden Madison +21.5. I think there is a small chance they could cover that one as well. It just depends on the Oregon injury situation. And we probably won't know that until very close to game time. So I'm probably just going to stay away from that there. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for support. Really do appreciate it. Man, kind of sad how quick the college goes by now since we don't have very many games to talk about. But it's going to be a fun weekend of football. We have some winning-in situations for the playoffs in the NFL. And we are basically down to the cutting room floor. We're just chopping teams away. I think I said 12 teams are officially eliminated in the NFL. I could be wrong about that. We said that yesterday. I can't fully remember what it was. But it's almost that time, man. We're in the final 2 weeks of the fantasy football season as well for my leagues and my buddy's leagues I'm in. We start the playoffs this week, so it's going to be a fun ride there. I'm in both of them, so sweaty weekend for your boy. But it's going to be fun, man. Going to be some great games. We got games on if you count the college bowl games, we got games Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Should be a full week of action. I'll see everyone back in this feed next Tuesday to go over all the reactions for NFL Week 16 and react to the first round of the college football playoffs.